All right. So today's topic is the Internet of Things. Remember one of the lectures Ashish has mentioned that IoT is one of the main pillars of digital transformation. Okay. Uh, if you look at in what is actually driving digital transformation, most of the papers will have a mention of IoT. Okay. So I thought it's very important topic and let's cover it. Okay. So next two lectures, there's today's lectures and after a week, lecture will be on IoT. Okay. So can anyone tell me what is IoT?
Sir, IoT can be, described as when two machines interact with each other. Then, that particular technology we can term it as IoT.
Yeah, but often there are machines which are interconnected. I go to a rice flour shop and there is a grinding machine and there is also a motor, and in between there is a kind of pulley or a belt.
Yes.
So two machines are interacting, so I can't say that's a IoT.
Using smart technology like wireless technologies and using internet, basically Internet of Things. So sitting at one place, like we are sitting at India and we can operate some machine. We are sitting at home and we can operate some machine at our industry. So
Okay,
like this.
good, fine. Basically making a machine first thing that's interactable. Okay, and then able to control manage from sitting it somewhere, right? Okay, good. Any other thought? So we are coming across this word IoT very often in newspaper, everyday newspaper. If you open somewhere or other, you'll find IoT. Okay, all right. So let's look at things. Let's go step by step. First thing first, we let's look at smart things. What are the really smart thing, right? And we know that a simple thing could be as simple as cars that were manufactured 20 years back, or electrical bulb, right? Normal bulb, even being manufactured today. Okay, these are all thing with absolutely the past things, we can say, which have no computing, no other kind of intelligence, right? So but we have seen there has been tremendous growth in computing or computing power, and we have studied the Moore's law, and at the same time there's tremendous growth in speed of communication. Okay, and these two things, the computing plus communication, is and these are not only becoming more powerful and improved, but also cost is reduced. So now we are trying to use these two technologies into everything. Okay, so everything is becoming now computer thing. We are connecting or we are converting that thing into a computer thing, so attaching a computer in some way and then connecting it to outside world, right? So it's a computer thing that's connected to outside world for interaction and lot of other things, interaction, management, control, enhanced feature that can be designed, etc., etc. All that comes under umbrella of the word called IoT. Okay. Okay, so so now for let's look at, let's just take a simple example of anything, and then by connecting a computer or attaching to that some kind of, or doing some kind of processing along with it, what all we can do. Okay, of course things become a smart thing in some sense, right? So what all we are going, what are the real advantages of that connection, or converting that thing to a smart thing, or connect or putting a processor to a analog thing or non computing. So for example, access becomes simple. Anybody can, for example, any something that is at remote, this analog now connect Anybody can have access to it. For example, let's take example of banks. Treat bank as a thing, right? That 20 years back, 25 years back, I mean, if you had to really go to the bank. Now, having a computer interface to that, and backend process might be similar, but I have access to that, right? So access become easy, and lot of other things are also, you can think of access, right? Reservation system, railway reservation system, and you can have an access to that and then do a lot of things. Okay, then easy to control. Control becomes very easy. I mean, even now in uh, say for example in aeroplanes, aircrafts, right? Control is largely by computers. Okay, because human beings cannot see, data might be coming from hundreds of places, then human beings cannot manage it so efficiently as computers can do, right? So control becomes easy. Okay, not only that, enhance control, because see, human beings can sense data from only limited number of things, but if you attach thousands of sensors to a machine or a thing, then data streams might be in thousands and computers can process it. You human beings can't process it. So the, and then more number of control features can be there. Okay, feature set you can improve. For example, we have taken an example of a toy or doll. Okay, there might be just plastic doll, or it can be doll that can speak, for example. Okay, and then listen also in some sense, and then and can make out what is being told in very simple way. Okay, and can react to those inputs, right? So we can always improve the feature sets. Or for example, there is a mechanical motor, uh, then how many ways it can control, how many speed controls we can have, how, and how we can save power, and how, so a lot of new features can be added. Now note that control and manageability are different, right? Although related, but how can we manage things, right? How can we configure it properly, or how can we do enable diagnostics, and all those things can be easily done now in a system. Outside world connectivity, as you mentioned just now, that somebody can manage things from outside, and that's possible. See, if it is all analog world, right? Suppose you may want to control some operation, some say actual say medical operation that's happening. If it's totally analog, then it cannot be assisted by a surgeon who's sitting say 1,000 miles apart. But if it's connected, then in fact a surgeon sitting somewhere else, if communication is happening in real time, can control the operation, right? Maintainability easy. For example, a car which is internet connected, at the same time intelligent, can tell you that the engine oil level is reduced now, so it needs to go for maintenance. In fact, can send email to in Amazon and buy it on your behalf, and it may come to your doorstep, right? Okay, data capture, that's very very important feature. Without data capture, a lot of things that we are doing today is not possible. See, moment the computers attached to anything that's analog, apart from all that we have discussed, very important thing is it has to generate data. That analog thing is generating data, and that is to be captured and utilized for all these things, or for we can take out some intelligence out of it and do certain value added things. And then a lot, of course, data collected has to be processed. Okay, and there's always we can use AI and other techniques to create more intelligent algorithms, right? And all of these also results into higher productivity. A factory may work more efficiently, cost may can be reduced, and so on. All right. So these are the advantage of making a plain analog thing to smart thing, which has a processor attached to it. Okay. All right. Any question on this one?
No, sir.
So when you think of new idea for your, or business you want to start, think what can you do to make things smart. Okay, for example, bicycles. Ordinary bicycles that we have today are not smart bicycles. Can you think how can you make it smart with the help attaching processor and of course internet connectivity?
So we can use GPS on it and as well as self-balancing bike, something like that.
Yes, GPS. So your if the child has gone out and then mother can track the child from home. Okay, and also you yourself can use GPS to for navigation. What else?
So as Devesh told, for balancing, so if the inclination is more than, I mean, basically more, it is in the verge of getting
Yes.
falling, so that can also
Yeah, fine.
generate a alert.
Fine, that's
Al-
good.
Also, sir, we can install some safety features like if there's has been an accident or the bike is damaged, it will send
Right.
the message to the other like
Yes.
people.
Very good. What else? Think. I mean, more you think, you will get lot of then hundreds of ways you can. Bicycle can be shared like motors, the car sharing systems, right?
Yes.
Or can be given on rent, like you have Ola scooter or some other scooters, right? Or motorbikes you can rent. Okay. Apart from that, you can do hundreds of things. I mean, cycles have number of gears, right? Uh, Smart or the cycles which are on the higher side, there are large number of gears in that, right? Often people make mistake in changing gears. So kind of you can create a system where a processor can change the gears or help user in changing the gears. Okay, there can also be some sort of, apart from safety feature, if it has light, if you're going out in the night time, then control the light in some better way. So, and there can be some sensors around it. So there is a vehicle very close to your bike, then it can give you alarm, or it can start a beam on the backward side, so maybe approaching car can see you, something like that. Think of, there can hundreds of ways you can make a very simple thing as cycle, as smart cycle. Okay, all right, let's go ahead. So the trend is that everything is becoming smart because digital technology is very cheap and it has all the advantage that we have seen, right? So by putting very small processor, we can make things smarter. And internet is of course like is kind of free, and internet is accessible by everyone because internet is available on wireless and wireline technology, on cellular and also wireline technology. So advantage, and the cost is very less. Okay, and then addresses are available. IPv6 allows everyone to have a permanent IP address. Okay, so any device, earlier there was a problem that everything cannot be given IP address. With IPv4, now with IPv6, every device can have not only one but hundreds of IP addresses. So there's another advantage, right? So everything is now becoming smart, and we can see the example. And one example is of course connected cars. Okay, so most powerful computer that you have available today is not on your desktop but is available on the cars that are coming to market. Okay, a typical new generation car will have about 20 to 30 processors of very high capability, and it will have 1 to 4 local area networks. Okay, Um and then number of lines of code in a car will be more than that on your desktop. Okay, it's around 100 million plus lines of code. It's a huge. Okay, and it will have hundreds of sensors. Okay, so for example, here we can see it as an engine sensors for vision, sensor for heat, sensor for light, and all these controls are there, and because of sensing and actuating, which we'll discuss later, like for night vision, airbag deployment, adaptive adaptive front lighting, cruise control, the power steering control, safety control, and so on, right? Vibration control and all that can be done efficiently by computers, right? So there will be sensors, actuators, processing, and hence overall control. Okay, let's look at another example, which is may seem interesting to you. Is there a need for intelligence in ordinary loo toilet? Of course, if you go to Japan, and some of you might have gone to Japan and go to Japan, toilets are very advanced. Even in homes, toilets are very advanced, right? I mean, so Western kind of toilets, there is a, you can feel hot water, cold water, whatever, and various positions can be adjusted. Music may be coming, and all that. So, in fact, it is experience to actually go to a very advanced toilet in Japan. But nevertheless, let's go to airport and then see, can toilets can we use IoT in toilets, or can we make toilets smart? Indian toilets are, of course, public toilets are among the worst in the world, as I have seen. Maybe worse, better than you will find in some other countries, but most of the countries have better toilets. So, how can we use IoT to improve experience of using toilets?
So
Yeah.
in India, I mean, in malls, I've seen that whenever, I mean, sensors are there. So if someone is using the loo, then only the water. Uh,
Yes. 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 So that's one very simple thing that not only, yeah, malls and airports you find this, right? But a lot more things can be done. A lot of water flow can be controlled. How many people have come into the toilet, and whether it needs maintenance, cameras can be there to monitor condition of toilets and so on. Fluid flow can be controlled. All those things can be done, and you in London's Heathrow Airport you'll find smart loos. In fact, many places you'll find now smart loos, right? Now it you know what is the advantage is that you have new features that are available. Okay, it enhances usability, it reduces the cost. If unnecessarily water is going into the loo when nobody has used it for hours, is wastage of water, wastage of electricity also, right? Bulbs can be made, lights can be switched on only when somebody has entered the loo, right? All those things can be done. Then we can have a smart irrigation system. I mean, say for example, if there is a drizzle, or some rains for very short duration, then do we really need to then run what do you call that, water, do we need to supply water? The soil moisture may be enough, right? So if we are doing it, we are over watering. That may have its own disadvantage. Secondly, water wastage. Third, electricity wastage. Okay, can we control that? Okay, it's a lot of ways we can monitor crops and then take advantage of IoT system. Smart farming, of course, we there are a number of ways like you can do it. Water is one. I mean, when to optimize inputs and treatments and so on. Precision farming is one such example. Agriculture drones are there. I mean, if you want to really see how kind of condition of the crops, etc., then you can use drones. Livestock monitoring can be done. Greenhouses can be monitored. So there again, IoT technology is being heavily utilized in farming sector. Then of course smart homes. uh, Even the flat that I live, which I bought say 15 years back, has some sensors, right? There is a smoke sensor, there is a gas leak sensor. These two sensors are there at least, right? Now most of the houses are smart windows where you can kind of control the airflow. Also, you can control the light that is coming in, you can control curtains and so on. And it's by mechanized movement of glass, etc., is with the help of motor. Then we can have infrared cameras for temperature sensor, and when there's sockets can be intelligent. So devices that can connect to it can communicate with socket, or when there is overheating, it can switch off by itself. Light switches, the air condition can be controlled with the computer. Lot of other then there are video cameras of for security, safety, and so on, right? So smart homes are solutions are becoming very popular. Then we have, one example is that of a smart thermometer. If somebody has temperature more than 105 degrees, then can call doctor directly, or it can control, or you know collect the data and then maybe use later on. Kitchen is becoming very smart, right? I mean, when, for example, when milk is over, the refrigerator can sense it and then can directly order to super store a milk for you, right? So equipments can be made smart. Okay, this is one, of course, cartoon. You go through it later. Then within industry, it could be any kind of industry. It could be car production industry, or chemical production industry, or even pharma industry. Computers and communication can be used very efficiently, right? Uh, and we call them cyber physical systems. Okay, so IoT in the context of industry is generally, we call the word cyber physical system. So factory automation or can be easily done. Physical processes can be monitored, and database decisions can be done, right? So we can take advantage of data collection, processing, analytics, connectivity, alerts. Something happens in factory, or there is a fire happens, then it can alarm to everyone. It can call ambulances, or maybe fire brigades and so on. So a lot of things can be done. Okay, so now we see that things, everything is becoming corresponding smart thing. And these are the example which we have already seen earlier: communication, banking, travel, transport, education, food, medical, entertainment, work, security. For example, let's take just one example randomly. Let's take travel. If we don't have IoT and internet connectivity, and things are not internet connected, what will be the problem?
So
Right from, yeah.
a lot of time that we are now saving will not be possible.
Yes. So let's assume internet is not there. The first thing, you can't reserve things, right? Reserve. Let's assume that in that case you have to go to some place, some shop or office, airline office, and then do manual reservation. And when you go to airport at the time of check-in, if internet is not there, then again you cannot do the check-in, because all database is there, backend database available to person who's checking you in. So we can see that every stage now, as things are getting smarter, it's really helping us in many ways, right? Okay, and then we have even devices are coming with devices are becoming smart with internet connected, like modern pacemakers. See, earlier pacemakers, one fitted into the body, works for certain number of years, and nobody knows. Suddenly one day it becomes bad, then there is a panic. Okay, here the condition, even patient's condition, can be monitored by doctor periodically, or in case something goes wrong, it can give alarm to doctor, or when the pacemaker itself becomes faulty, then it can alarm. Okay, um, and so on, right? There can be insulin pumps. People are diabetic now. Even now, it's very mechanical. Okay, and so insulin, when what sugar level goes up, then it has to pump more insulin. Okay, and then this is very approximate today. Now if there is a better, it's controlled by a computer, and then data is going out rather than being here, and then say cloud, and some computation is happening, complex computation, then this insulin pump can be controlled in more precise manner. Then fitness tracker and so on. Offices are becoming is smart offices. Now there is a huge project happening in India called smart cities, and some cities are becoming smarter. What all that is, right? It's nothing but application of IoT out there. All right. And reasons for smart trend is that it's a market economics. Customer demands smart things because customers have productivity, higher productivity, uh, and then when things, there is a more demand, things are produced in mass, and that reduces the cost, and then technology improves, and more technology gets integrated into things, right? So it's a complete cycle. Okay. And of course we have seen advantage of hyperconnectivity. Hyperconnectivity is where the whole world, every device in the world is getting connected in some way or other. When when everything gets connected, then benefits are enormous, which we can't even visualize. Okay, and this is where the new ideas you can develop for your business, because we cannot visualize, because we are now conditioned to see things in isolation. Even very simply by making a bicycle, a smart bicycle, or interconnect things, how many ways it can help. Okay, just if you think that a bicycle, why can't a bicycle can talk to another bicycle, okay, about something, or why not bicycle talk to a car that's coming behind, right? A car, and so on. All right. And this diagram is interesting diagram, which says that what happens in 60 seconds. Okay, lot of things happen in 60 seconds, right? For example, 156 million emails are sent, 175,000 video messages are sent, 120 new accounts are created on LinkedIn, uh, and in Facebook, 243,000 photos are uploaded in every minute. uh, 70,000 hours of video is watched every minute. uh, 700,000 of hours long, or that kind of video is watched every minute. Okay. It means so many users are using it, and so on. You can see all this, right? And 87,000 hours of video is watched every minute on Netflix. So we can see that so much of things are happening because of computers and internet being there, right? And so much of data is also being generated, right? Imagine how much data is generated every second in the world, and how it can be utilized, and so on, right? So now let's come to actual definition of IoT. IoT allows people to connect to things. Okay. Say for example, there may be ECG sensor, maybe a motion sensor. Okay. So for example, when I'm jogging or walking, it can monitor my heart rate, it can monitor my blood pressure, it can also tell me how many steps I have taken, and so on, right? So people are interacting with things. Okay. uh, and there can be various things. Say for example, people are interacting with, say, video camera, or a music system, or something else, right? So that's one way internet is helping people. So people are interacting with things, and in order to interact with things, we need certain things, right? Of course we need sensors. Okay. Sensor that can sense, for example, motion, sensors that can sense heat that's being generated, sensors that can see the orientation. Okay, even for example, a mobile phone has certain number of sensors. Okay, it sensor can be infrared sensor, and so on, right? So that, So in order to make any analog thing, it, we have to have a sensor that will generate data, and then data is to be converted to digital data that needs to be processed, and if correction has to happen, then it has go to actuator, and that will again change the state of the thing. Say for example, someone gave an example of cycle, orientation of cycle, okay, whether it's tilted or not tilted, and some kind of balancing. So there is something that will measure there is a tilt, and then for that tilt is to be coded, and that is the role of a sensor that will sense the tilt, then create data. Data will be collected, it will be analyzed, it can all, this data is converted to digital data, analyzed, it can be analyzed in only in processor, and then processor will find out something to be done, it will send the data or intelligence to actuator, which will change the position of the cycle. So this is the way. There are 4 5 steps which you will see later. Sensor is one which senses uh, the state of the thing and passes it on to other parts for processing. Okay, so hundreds different kinds of, thousands of different kinds of sensors is a huge marketplace now, and as IoT is becoming more popular, sensors are becoming more smart and powerful. For example, in self-driving cars, number of sensors could be as high as 500 or maybe more. Okay, I'm just widely guessing. So okay, so first thing was that people are connecting to things. Second thing is things are connecting to things. You know, for example, car may be connected to may be connecting to police. Something happens, it accident may happen, their car may call directly police. Car may also call if required petrol pump, can also, you know, you may, or service center, and so on. Okay, so now imagine millions of things are connected to each other in very meaningful way, you know. So this will increase availability of services and so on. Okay, any question?
No, sir.
Okay, and this is possible when every thing has an address. Okay, now when say address, it means that anything, as a police is trying to send something to a car here, you should be able to send communication. Okay, and that's possible if this has IP address. Now this IP address is now IPv6 address. It's going to be in future as more and more devices are changing from IPv4 to IPv6 connectivity. So each device will have at least one IP address. Okay, this is a smart world that we of future using IoT. This of course is a company that has created this scenario, and we can see you know, every part of, so you know, things can be made smart in number of ways, like there can be sensors and IoT for air pollution, forest fire detection, the wine quality enhancing, uh, offspring care, sportsman care. Okay, then could be electromagnetic level measurements and so on, traffic congestion measurement, smart roads, smart lighting, intelligent shopping, a noise urban map, and so on, waste management, smart parking. You know, it can be used for enhancing water quality, water leakages, and so on and so forth. So you can think of millions of uses of IoT in smart cities. Okay, any question that comes to your mind? Okay, all right. So next 10 minutes, let's define what IoT actually is. So far we have seen the glimpse or some taste of IoT, and then let's actually get into architecture of that. Okay, so typical definition is that extending current internet which is generally between processors and process, I mean between laptop to server and so on. Typically, I mean when think of internet, connecting your laptop to say Google or web or internet and all that. So we are extending this and providing connection, communication and interworking between devices and physical objects. That's called things. Okay. So basically, first thing is making things smart and then connecting internet such that thing can be controlled, managed, communicated and so on very easily and efficiently. And all this we call is Internet of Things. All right. So we see that things connected to internet is actually exceeded number of people on earth. This happened last year. What does it mean? We think of internet, we think that internets, we are using internet. Now we see the things, maybe a car, maybe a toaster, or maybe your light bulb is also using internet. A number of such connections have become more than what human beings are using. Okay, and after many years, maybe 4 5 years, you will see it's multiple. For each person, there may be 10 times things associated with a person that are connecting directly to internet. Okay, any question? Does it sound interesting?
Yes, sir.
See, so far we have been thinking only human beings we can use internet, and we only have intelligence, and all other things are mundane. Okay, now there is a life. Life is that, I mean, life of some intelligence kind. Some intelligence is there in devices. They may not have consciousness, right? The human beings having, but they have intelligence. Now, once they have intelligence, they can be connected. Now, imagine that all these devices or machines with intelligence are connecting to each other or human beings, and there's a totally no new ecosystem that's going to develop. Okay, which we can't imagine. We Today I can't imagine how different devices which we were not thought of till now can be connected on internet, and a new set of services, a new set of operations, new set of features can be developed because of that. Okay, now let's look at actually what is engineering architecture. Okay, first thing, there is a thing. Say for example a lathe machine or a bicycle, okay, which is just mechanical or analog in nature. So in order to make it intelligent or smart, we need sensors. Some states of that thing can be sensed, like speed of bicycle or orientation of bicycle. Okay, that can be sensed, and then corresponding data is generated. Data is captured, generated, and communicated. So there must be something to communicate. Communicate to whom? To it, internally, if it's a process and things can be, actuator can be actuated, it's okay. But it's internet connected, it means that their processing can happen out from outside, or somebody can manage it from outside or communicate with the device outside. So there has to be unit which, or card or interface that will connect it to network locally in the area. For example, from a bicycle, it may have a cellular interface that will connect it to some local point out there. Okay, communication point out there, or maybe Wi-Fi interface that's connected to Wi-Fi router somewhere in that proximity. So this is kind of local area network. So this is a device. There will be interface to connect to local area network, and there is a gateway to connect to internet. Okay, gateway is a gateway to internet where actually internet wide area network connectivity comes in. So this is an internet that expands to anywhere in the world. Okay, and then it somewhere or other it's connected to servers. Now we can extend this further to a cloud or data center or cloud. Okay. Now in this model, things can be connected to thing, because after this point, there are other things connected to it. So we are showing this diagram only for one thing. So multiple things are connected. So one thing can be connected to other thing. A thing can also be connected to say servers, okay, or cloud. We'll see what cloud is or what data center is, and it can also be connected to human beings. Okay, so this is the model. So this is at device level. This is thing becoming a smart thing with sensor and actuators, and then connected to network. And this totally, the local network and internet gives the network level. And of course, what we have not seen is actuator, because from outside, if you want to control, for example, bicycle or a car, you may want to, there may be person who is controlling your car somewhere, then can also give inputs to car, and that will actuate, for example, something. For example, actuator may apply brakes. If you are going at the speed of say 150 kilometers per hour, and there is some ways for someone from outside to manage the situation, then it can apply possibly a brake or do something. Okay, so actuator, actually input to actuator is digital signals, zeros and ones, and output is actually, it will enable movement of or changing the state of the thing, say movement of steering wheel, or dimming the light, or applying brake, and so on. Okay, we can use IoT in any organization, like okay, oh sorry, IoT organization, I'm so sorry. It has basically 5 parts, or this is architecture, we can say. Another 2 minutes, let me finish. It has sensors which will collect data, which will sense physical things and then collect data. Processors and memory, where data coming in will be processed and stored. Okay, now this processing and storage can happen to a computer attached to device, or it can happen, data can be directly transmitted to cloud where processing can happen. Okay, and then device will may also have actuators which will change the orientation of device or state of the device. And in order to do that, we need a connecting networks, and of course power supply and battery. So these are the units of IoT. We have sensors, actuators, processor memory, and connecting networks. These are the important part. Okay, all right, so we will stop here, and then we will look at some other aspects of IoT in the next class. How much time we have now? Say 10 minutes, right?
1 minute.
For 10 minutes? Yeah. Okay, let's then complete this. I thought time is over, so let me just finish it. Okay, when we say IoT in general, right, something that comes to mind is that it's a very small device, and that is true mostly. Okay, if you don't think of automated factory, etc., uh, thing as a lathe machine, then thing can be, in general, things are very small. So the processor attached to it is also very small. Say for example a doll or toy, right? A smart toy will have very, the device is small, right? So it's a very small thing. It has very limited capabilities. So the processor attached to it will also will have very limited processing power, limited amount of memory, limited amount of communication ability. Okay, maybe internet, it can use internet maybe, but speed may be very low, or bandwidth may be low. Okay, and generally it is powered by battery. Okay, it's a small in size, low in cost, and usually does not perform complicated tasks. Okay, and it does not have a good security. So these are typically characteristics of a low end IoT device. But nowadays IoT is also becoming, devices are becoming powerful and stronger, and processors are becoming powerful. But in general, when we say speak of IoT, we think of devices being small and so on. Okay. And of course, a connection over internet requires various underneath technologies, because we have studied the internet works at layer 3. So we need some underneath technologies to connect. For example, it could be Wi-Fi, it could be LTE. 5G is being rolled out. It's very powerful technology. So it could be our 5G. So 5G will run internet. 5G will provide radio channels, communication channels, and then internet can be run over it, right? Then Bluetooth, near field communication, NFC, RFID. Some of these terms you would have possibly heard. NFC is where, it's very similar to Bluetooth, where you don't need to really connect to the device. Okay, for example, and some buses in Europe, for example, I have used NFC where the card that I buy, once I pass by it, it will it's okay, it will sense it, right? But the distance between the two has to be less than a meter or something like that. Similarly, RFID is being used in very frequently in mostly industrial environment. Okay, so these are the technologies. We are not going to go into protocol level. We just want to highlight that these technologies exist. Okay, internet on top of these technologies runs internet. Okay, so this could be local area network, and there is always a gateway. Like even in your home, there is a router that works as a gateway to outside world, and there is internet, external internet connected. Okay, this is one of the example where device is very small, kept for example outside in a field sensing something. Okay, and where wires cannot go, so and then we can have wireless sensor networks. This is one of the technology. There is a low speed wireless links that connects these, and these kind of create self routings. For example, communication may, suppose this fails because of some reason, then this network, while the sensor network, should be able to reconfigure itself and send the data to the gateway. Okay, so this is very important area of research, where people are trying to find out how to create dynamically wireless sensor networks which can work very efficiently. All right. uh, okay, and there are large number of software platform and services for IoT, like there are new protocols, communication protocols. There is 6G LoWPAN, CoAP, and various operating system, right? If you try to use Linux and one of those, it may be too heavy for IoT devices. So there are new OS that have come, like Tiny OS or Contiki and so on. Number of gateways and middleware have come out especially for IoT. Okay, and then when the data goes out, because a lot of data is being generated by sensors connected to IoT devices, the data has to be collected and processed, and then results or some kind of decision intelligence have to fed back, or nothing else than data is to be collected and some information is to be, or some intelligence had to be captured from that, right? And that cannot be done just by one server. And what we nowadays, what people use is nothing but, what we see here is a data center where all these are nothing but racks holding up number of servers. So there may be here close to 100,000 servers in the cloud. So data, next point is data collection. So data is being generated by these devices, and then is reaching through gateways and internets, coming to a place where uh, it has to be analyzed, right? Okay, this of course shows a packet transmission. uh, All right. So for example, some fire has happened, then the sensor will sense it, create a packet and send it to end user, which can take some action. Okay, this one is such example. Okay. So we know that data is the key. So data is to be analyzed, stored, and intelligence can be used after analysis to take actions. Okay. Uh, so So what we are doing is intelligent data processing, sensing and data collection is happening. Then we are doing access, subscription, integration. And then in order to do that, we can use various methodologies and we can store the data or process the data on the cloud. Okay, and we can use an AI analytics software. Once data is available in cloud, then we can run AI and various analytics software. Okay. All right. So this slide gives how within an organization we can use IoT. For example, in manufacturing we can use it, marketing we can use it, support, business development, customer care, product improvement, and so on. Please go through it by yourself. I mean, if you think, if you're running at say some manufacturing plant which makes air conditioning units or car manufacturing, how we can use IoT in that. Now we'll see, traditionally we'll see that factory automation can be done. There's the first thought that will come. Of course, we can do it in manufacturing. We can do in remote monitoring on control. In the night time, there may not be need for an operator to be there. These are very simple use cases, but can we use it in marketing? How can we use IoT in marketing? Just think about it. How can you use it in support? When we say support, support of what? Okay, something that supports the main activity, right? For example, okay, we can use that in customer support. Okay, can we use IoT in new business development? How? So all these things we can just think about it and you'll get the answer for it. Supply chain, of course, is a very simple answer, right? I mean, whenever stock is getting consumed, then manufacturing rate can be increased or reduced depending on demand supply. Goods tracking, when you send courier, can IoT help you? When something is being shipped, can for example, something is being shipped using cargos, can we use IoT? Yes, we can. So there are a number of hundreds of ways. I have listed here is only a few. IoT can be used. Okay, one example is Philips, a company is making smart lighting solutions. They have transformed themselves in from lighting, providing bulbs and tube lights and so on, to smart lighting people, right? So they have a new business sector called smart lighting solutions. Okay, and you can see large number of examples here. For example, BMW, Mercedes, Renault, all these are car manufacturers. Now they say that we are not car manufacturer, we are mobility services provider, like car sharing, ride sharing, etc. Okay, and so on. Okay, so that's all for today about introduction to IoT. In the next class, we'll see how IoT can be used in digital transformation. Some of these, of course, we have discussed today. Okay. Any question? Any random thought that comes to your mind? Anything about IoT and how can you utilize IoT? Think how can you make things that you are using that are not analog a smart thing and use IoT. Any thought? Are you using everything that is IoT based?
No, sir.
Yes, surely no. I mean, most of us are still using analog things. Give an example.
Sir, of IoT products, or
No, IoT product, no. Anything that you are using. For example, your mother, when she goes to kitchen, she is using equipment that are not IoT based, right?
yes,
So gas stove, for example, does not have IoT in general. I mean, now, at least I have not seen IoT based gas stove. Can we use IoT? Can various pots have IoT? Say there is a milk boiler available, right? What do you call that? Milk cooker or something like that? There's a mechanic. Can it be made IoT based? Where you put your
It's,
gas burner is IoT based, and then this pot is also has IoT. So you just put milk there, and both will do their own job. Both will communicate to each other. Okay, the moment milk starts boiling, it will immediately turn off the heat. Yeah, I'm just giving a very simple example that came to my mind. What else you can do in kitchen? You think about it, and you can have some ideas. Hmm? Can you make chapati maker automatic based on IoT?
yes, sir.
It's, by the way, it's a very big business, right? I can't buy a chapati maker in India because there's no good chapati maker, and I have to buy it from US. It will cost me not less than 60,000 rupees. So there are lot of places you start thinking, and then you get hundreds of ideas, maybe business ideas, if it works out. Okay, and very soon you will find all these things are having IoT. Okay. I see, one simple thing is that if all these devices are having IoT is connected to ingredients, for example, you can have a smart dish maker, or you can make some sabji or whatever, and somebody can provide services for that. I mean, for example, you are making a khichdi or upma or something like that, and ingredients will directly come to the pot. It will automatically switch on the gas or heat, and then output of that in real time may go to a service provider that will monitor, that will possibly do some expert things from outside. And when you come reach home from office, you have ready-made things available. Why not a third party can provide services that will control ingredients and heat and so on and so forth. All right, so thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you. Bye bye.
thank you, sir.